What's good, YouTube? That one Falcons in here. Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Falcons Talk, where we talk all Atlanta Falcons and their offseason moves. In this episode, we'll be talking about the 2023 schedule. I'll be predicting the Falcons schedule and comparing it to what I predicted earlier. If you haven't checked my video where I predicted the Falcons schedule, please check it out. It's in the description box below. But without further ado, let's begin. So the Falcons begin their 2023 season at home against Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. In my prediction, I predicted the Falcons would be heading to Detroit to face the Detroit Lions. So I was wrong with that one. But nonetheless, the Falcons will take the win here because Bryce Young, he is coming to Atlanta. It's going to be a tough environment for Bryce Young, especially with our defense. He is going to get collapsed. He will get destroyed by Grady Jarrett and Calais Campbell. Watch him get welcomed to the NFL and welcome to Atlanta. Following that game, the Atlanta Falcons stay home and this time host Tom Grassi's Green Bay Packers. This is no longer the Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay. It is now led by Jordan Love. And sorry to say this, Mr. Grassi and Packers fans, but Jordan Love is going to have his growing pains. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers in a full season. He's going to struggle, and he's going to suck a lot. But you got to be patient with him. But when he comes to Atlanta, he has no chance of beating us. I had the Falcons winning this game, and in my prediction, I predicted this will be a Sunday night football game against the Minnesota Vikings, so I take an L. In Week 3, the Atlanta Falcons will take on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. This is going to be a tough game for the team, and they will take their first loss because of the Lions defense and Jared Goff. They're just a better team than us. They're basically us, but much better. So we're going to take an L here. But if the Falcons manage to pull off the upset, I will not be surprised because the Falcons, they know how to keep things close and be very competitive, especially with teams that are above 500. And I predicted that they would face the Packers, so I take another L here. Then in Week 4, the Atlanta Falcons head to London to face the Wembley Jaguars, or the Jacksonville Jaguars, really. But anyways, this is Desmond Ritter's first game in London, and same for Drake London. He's going to play in London. So that's kind of a weird thing to say, but whatever. The Falcons are going to have a very tough time defeating the Jaguars, even though we're facing our former Falcons, Calvin Ridley and Foye Oluokun, and I definitely want to beat them, but I don't see them beating the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is just too good, but if the Falcons pull off the upset, who knows? They could pull it off, and everyone will take us seriously. So now it's Week 5. The Falcons are back in Atlanta, and they take on C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. This should be another win for the Falcons. I don't see a reason why we should lose to the Texans because we're playing against a rookie quarterback who's going to have his growing pains. We should not let him come to Atlanta and kick us in the face. Georgia was able to beat Stroud. The Falcons should be able to beat him too. We're going to go 3-2 after Week 5, and I go 0-5 in predicting Falcons games. So, in Week 6, the Falcons stay home and host the Washington Commanders. This should be another easy game for the Falcons to win. We can run, assuming we just run the ball against Washington's defense, we should be able to win this game. And right now, things are looking good for the Falcons. We're undefeated at home, and the only two losses were against the Lions and the Jaguars. which are understandably reasonable. But anyways, I predicted that the Falcons would take on the Texans week 6, but in reality, they faced them the week earlier, week 5. So I'm 0-6, and the Falcons are 4-2. Then in week 7, the Falcons will take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. This is going to be another loss for the Falcons because the Buccaneers defense is still pretty good, especially at home. It's very hard to beat the Buccaneers at home. But anyways, Baker Mayfield, I don't know what to think about him. I don't think he's going to do a lot to help the Buccaneers win games. They're probably going to be tanking for a quarterback in the 2024 NFL Draft. Yeah, it's going to be another loss for the Falcons. We go 4-3, and I go 0-7 because I predicted that the Falcons will take on the Chicago Bears instead of the Buccaneers. Then in week 8, the Atlanta Falcons stay on the road and this time head to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans. So Arthur Smith returns to Tennessee to face his former team. You can expect them to run the ball a lot in this game, which should lead them to a victory. So the Falcons are going to go 5-3, and I still have not predicted a Falcons game properly, and I go 0-8. So now the Falcons are back home in Atlanta, and they take on the Minnesota Vikings. I predict it's going to be an upset. Yes, the Falcons will upset the Minnesota Vikings. And I think that's because our run game is going to be very explosive against the Vikings defense. And also due to the fact that they released Dalvin Cook. So they already lost a key player on that offense. And our defense should be able to get to Kirk Cousins and lock up Justin Jefferson. So the Falcons go 6-3, and I go 0-9. Following that game, the Atlanta Falcons head to Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals. This should be another easy win for the Falcons, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The Arizona Cardinals are in a rebuild mode, and I don't think they're going to win any games this season, and they're going to be taking Caleb Williams first overall. I predict that the Falcons could have taken a bye week 10, but that's not the case. So Falcons will go 7-3 on the season, and I go 0-10 or 0-9, including the bye week. So week 11, the Falcons take their bye week. Nothing needs to be said, and I predict that the Falcons will be taking on the Buccaneers in Tampa. So still have not predicted a game right, but all of that changes week 12 as the Falcons take on the New Orleans Saints in Atlanta. I predicted this, and I got it right for the first time. But the only difference is that it's not a Thanksgiving game. I still have the Falcons beating the Aints. There's no reason why we should let the Aints keep on owning us in Atlanta. It's time to start getting up and telling the Aints that this is our house, not yours. Following the Saints game, the Atlanta Falcons head to New York and take on the New York Jets. So this is going to be a tough game for us to play because Aaron Rodgers is there. If this was Zach Wilson, I would probably have taken the Falcons. But this is the Aaron Rodgers-led New York Jets. And they got a lot of other players from the Packers. So this is going to be a tough match up for us, and we're going to take an L here. Then in Week 14, the Atlanta Falcons take on the Buccaneers at home. This will be a win for the Falcons as they move to 9-4. The Buccaneers are not that good of a team to sweep the Falcons, and there's no reason why we should lose to them again. So now it's week 15, and the Falcons are in Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be a win. Yes, the Falcons will sweep the Panthers and move on to 10-4. Yes, I understand that Bryce Young at this time, he will be cooking, but I feel like we could sweep the Panthers because they're still not that good of a team. And I predicted that they will take on the Buccaneers, but obviously they faced them last week. The Falcons then take on the Chicago Bears. Week 16 in Chicago. This is going to be another win for the Falcons because the Bears' offensive line still is not the best when it comes to protection. Justin Fields still gets sacked a lot of times, and I still expect the Falcons defense, to get to Fields a lot of times. Then in Week 17, the Falcons play their last home game of the season, taking on the Indianapolis Colts, just as I predicted. And I predict the Falcons are going to win this game. And it's going to be the third win in the all-time series against the Colts. Had Matt Ryan not been released, this would have been a Matt Ryan revenge game, and it would have been really cool to see Matt Ryan return to Atlanta, but this time as a visitor. Then comes the season finale. The Falcons head to New Orleans to take on the Aints again. And unfortunately, this is going to be a loss because we have already clinched the division. We've already made the playoffs. Most of our starters are resting and preparing for the wild card. So this is going to be a loss. And to top things off, the Falcons will go 12-5 in the season. For me personally, I went 2-15 predicting the Falcons season, or 2-16 if you include the bye week. When the Falcons make the playoffs, I will discuss the postseason schedule. But for now, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, share the video with your friends, and comment down below what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.